Federal government team amplifies policies and project gains of President Bola Tinubu. Governor Bebolo calls for improvement on beavers as INEC conducts by-elections. Federal government inaugurates health sector collective bargaining committee to negotiate with major unions. Hello and a warm welcome to the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Vivian Ezadifi. The federal government team led by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, is amplifying the gains of the policies and projects of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, which are believed to be in tandem with the aspirations of Ebonyi State and by extension, Southeast. Caleb Obonna reports that a citizens' engagement with the Minister of Information was held in Abakaliki to review government steps so far.
The citizens' engagement with the delegation of the Minister of Information, which is to round up his visit to Ebonyi State, was organized to appraise the progress of the renewed hope agenda in the Southeast and aggregate areas of interest for the zone and Ebonyi State in particular. Leveraging the support disposition of Mr. President to state governments, Governor Francis Nwifuru implored the federal government to aid his efforts in reviving Nigeria's first cement factory situated at Nkalego, Ebonyi State.
We took a decision, a very bold decision, to liberate higher education in Nigeria. With the support of Mr. President, I am doing so many things.
The minister emphasizes that the vision behind Mr. President's progressive synergy with state governments despite party affiliations is embedded in governance of inclusivity and prosperity of all zones.
We are on the right trajectory. All the agencies, when they were in Poland, when they're looking whether your economy is better or not better, they don't talk, say, waiting President Bola may do, now you do for Nigeria. The Calabar cement family that we used to have, that the Abakaliki rice that we used to do and enjoy it, will ensure that all that will turn again so that our people can get job to do and our economy will grow.
The minister's entourage comprised top government functionaries, including the directors general of different media organizations in Nigeria, NTA inclusive. In Abakaliki, Caleb Obonna, NTA News.
In a bid to stem the tide of brain drain, the Institute of Medical Sciences Africa convened a solemn luncheon bringing together aspiring healthcare professionals from across the continent. Nigeria's Minister of Education, Dr. Tajuddin Alausa, is urging them to view their roles as catalysts for meaningful change in their respective nations. Thomas Obeteri reports.
The 6-month training focus on assisted reproductive technology ART is designed to build capacity in a continent where brain drain and medical tourism have long stifled healthcare development. From Sierra Leone to Niger and the rest of African countries, the program drew participants determined to change the narrative. The program is not just an ordinary training, it is a bridge to discourage the flight of our talents, keep our patients home, and above all, a bridge to collaboration across African borders. The Minister of Education was represented at the event.
So these people that are here, they are coming for specialized area in embryology, IVF, and others.
For one of the trainees from Sierra Leone, the training means a lot more than a professional milestone. It's a promise with conviction. He shared his dream of establishing affordable IVF center in his home country.
Why I'm here is so that we can make sure that IVF is well established in our country, Sierra Leone.
Dr. Adamu Onu, Managing Director of the Institute of Medical Science Africa, emphasized that the program is Africa-focused, aimed at equipping professionals with both skills and purpose at a time when many African doctors and nurses are living for better pay and conditions abroad. This training is a rare example of a reverse flow, an inward movement of knowledge, collaboration, and hope.
We know the burden that medical tourism has imposed on the system, wherein a lot of Nigerians that desire certain advanced health techniques travel out of the country.
If you hear one of them said he's been an embryologist for so many years in his country, but he has never gone out. So he came here to learn how to do embryo biopsy. That means to detect embryos that have genetic problems even before we transfer the embryos.
It's not just about science, it's about stories of families who can hope to have children, of doctors who choose to stay, and of systems being rebuilt from within. In a continent that has for too long relied on solutions from abroad, this luncheon marked something quietly revolutionary. It is about Africans, equipping Africans to care for Africa. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Still with health, the federal government has inaugurated the Committee on Collective Bargaining for the Health Sector, marking the official commencement of negotiations with major health sector unions and professional associations. The inauguration is in line with Article 1 and 2 of the Guidelines on Collective Bargaining Agreement Machinery and reflects government's commitment to addressing critical workforce issues in the sector. The structured negotiations will engage key stakeholders, including the Nigerian Medical Association, Joint Health Sector Union, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, among others. Discussions will focus on key issues such as remuneration, working conditions, professional development, and the welfare of the associations and unions. Coordinating Minister of the Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, who led the inauguration, emphasized that the initiative aims to build a fair and sustainable framework for Nigerians' health workforce. Professor Pate added that the process is a crucial step towards ensuring that the concerns of health workers are addressed transparently and responsibly. The 12 Nigerian men stranded in the Central African Republic, whose video went viral some 3 weeks ago, have finally returned home. It was an emotionally laden moment for the rescued Nigerians as they narrated their ordeal while on a visit to the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Deborah Balabobo has details.
It was a hard life as the returnees shared their harsh ordeal in the war-torn nation. They alleged that despite owing them 11 months of salaries, the Chinese employers subjected them to many forms of deprivation, including sexual abuse while in the Central African Republic. Leader of the group, Igorigo Freedom, said they had suffered a lot in the past 20 months and are grateful for the support from the Nigerian government and the NIDCAM intervention.
When that went on, we were still patient until the work stopped. And when the work stopped, they said we should remain in the bush there. To our surprise, they evacuated 4 Chinese. And I went to the commandant, the military there, that they should not allow the people to evacuate the 2 remaining 2 Chinese. That if they left, they would not care for us again. Then they came for other Chinese, they took him away to Bangui. And when they wanted to do that, some of us who have been agitating to come back to Nigeria, demanding for our passport for almost 4 months, wanted to follow the truck. but they were intimidated with rifles and you know the way soldiers operate. So we have to hang back. Then at the end of the day, they removed the last Chinese. So that is when we said, okay, let us call the attention of our brothers in Nigeria.
We're glad you are home.
Thank you.
Put the experience, learn from the experience, put it behind home, demand for justice for you. And I'm sure when we tell them here, they should be able to find those people and give them the right kind of treatment. So life itself is an experience. But the most important thing you are alive to tell your stories.
The NIDCOM boss condemned the acts as inhumane and assured that the matter would be pursued to ensure justice is served in line with the citizen diplomacy of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. In Abuja, Deborah Balagubo, NTA News.
We'll take you now to Edo State, where the Governor Monday Abebolo has called to improve on the functionality of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, in future elections. Goodluck Inaini reports that the governor made the remark after exercising his franchise at Ward 2, Unit 1, Udomi Primary School in Isa Central Local Government Area.
The by-elections held in 51 wards in 5 local government areas of Edo Central Senatorial District, and the governor exercised his franchise at Ward 2, Unit 1, Udomi Uwesa, and commended the process but raised concerns due to the glitches associated with the BVAS. He sues for improvement on the BVAS in subsequent elections.
We just voted. You can see the frustration. The BVAS is just too slow. It takes a lot of time before you can log in. It's a big problem. So I think INEC need to look into this.
NTA News also captured the coordinator office of Edo State First Lady Edesili Okpebolo Anani and other voters casting their ballots. Earlier, accreditation and voting went on simultaneously from 7:30 a.m. at Unit 345 in Egwari Primary School and Unit 13 at Model Primary Health Care Center, Usenu Irua, Esan Central. Frank Obehi is among some early voters who commended the process.
It was very easy for me to vote because after doing the accreditation, I just voted and I'm about going home now.
Everything is going on well. INEC is doing great. The agents are here. And the people are coming out to vote. So far, so good, and we expect it to be so.
At Ward 1 Uromi and others in Arwe Uromi, the exercise was also hitch-free. The situation was same at Unit 5 Uwesa, Esa Central, recording an impressive turnout of prospective voters. They were agents of the contesting political parties and security presence in areas monitored. From Irua, Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
Electorates in Remo Federal Constituency came out in their numbers to exercise their franchise during the by-election conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, into Remo Federal Constituency, which became vacant due to the death of the former Deputy Chief Whip of the House of Representatives, Adewumi Onanuga, who died in January 2025. Yemi Dalemo reports that the election conducted under tight security was peaceful and orderly.
INEC, in keeping with its promise of improving on the nation's electoral process, ensures that the sensitive and non-sensitive materials needed for the Remo Federal Constituency by-election arrived at the various polling units across the 3 local government areas of Shagamu, Ikenne, and Remo North on time. The election commenced as scheduled, witnessing large turnout of voters who came to exercise their franchise in an orderly and peaceful manner, with security operatives their duty post to prevent any form of electoral malpractices. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun performed his civic responsibility at his Itao Sonyi Ward 3 Unit 2 in Ikperu, Ikenne local government area of Ogun State.
I am pleasantly surprised that there's also a very impressive turnout. Everybody seems to be going about voting orderly, peacefully. There are issues here and there where they say maybe because of the weather, the BVAS machine takes a bit of time in capturing facial recognition images and registering it. But I believe between thumb printing and facial recognition, somehow they are managing along. So far, everything looks so good.
Election observers and the Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and other stakeholders. 8 political parties participated in the by-election to replace the late Deputy Chief Whip of the Federal House of Representatives, Adewumi Ononuga, who died in January this year. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Conduct of the Ibadan North Federal Constituency election is underway without hitch as voters are orderly and peaceful. Lukman Hassan has a situation report.
INEC ad hoc staff and election materials arrived polling units across 12 wards and units in good time as voters were seen as early as 7 a.m. are waiting to cast their ballot. The Ibadan North Federal House of Representatives by-election is going on smoothly without any hitch. As we could all remember, the election was necessitated by the death of Olaide Aderemi, who died July 10, 2024. And most of the polling units we have visited, voters are casting their ballot, and some of them who spoke to us have their opinions about the conduct of the elections.
Traditionally, by-elections are mostly like this, but as to being bothered, yes, we see what we call voter apathy, and this is not good for a nascent democracy.
The turnout is so low compared to the general election. I mean, it is not unexpected. And the most important thing is everything is going on, smoothly, and there is no violence.
As far as my polling unit is concerned, I'm 100% okay with what they've done so far.
The voting process is still ongoing, and more people are expected to come out to cast their ballots. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
Time for a break now. More stories when we return.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
Welcome back. Smart, safe, and sustainable pastoralism are veritable tools that can address farmers' and herders' crises and guarantee food security in Nigeria. A professor of rural livelihoods, Sadiqat Adeyemi Aderenoye Abdul Wahab, gave the hints while delivering the 289th inaugural lecture of the University of Ilorin. Abdul Hafiz Alias report is here presented.
With estimated over 20 million cattle, Nigeria is said to be among countries with the largest cattle population in the world, with livestock production contributing up to 20% of the country's agricultural GDP. However, the pastoralists who are at the center of animal production, according to Professor Sidikat, are faced with myriad of socio-economic and environmental challenges occasioned by climate change. These problems have further strained the relationship between the herders and their host farmers, leading to a large-scale crisis which has claimed thousands of lives and property destruction in some parts of the country. To reverse the ugly trend, the University Don suggested a pluralistic approach that promotes peaceful coexistence, reduces conflicts, and enhances resilience of both herding and farming communities. She also advocated at least 10% increase in total allocation to Agriculture and Livestock Development Ministries to facilitate employment, training and retraining of livestock extension workers.
The way to go is to practice sustainable, smart and safe pastoralism in Nigeria, which I have explained. Planting of grassland intensification, also adoption of extension agents, deployment of extension agents to help in the safe strategies, and also the climate smart practices. Intermarriages between farmers and herders, because they live together for long. So if these extension agents can help to sensitize them, then it can help in solving the problems. By the time the pastoralists and the farmers are intermarrying, then they would understand each other better.
The farmer-herders clash is a recurring decimal, but the lecturer has identified how to provide a sustainable solution to ensure that it does not happen again.
The current issues that is facing us is very stark. Scarce resources, inadequacy of where the animals would graze. I think government is better placed to play a role, and our community leaders also should play their own role as well.
She has made some solid recommendations, and to me, this is a fulfilled life in this sense that I'm still living as a professor, and my daughter has come up to give Nigerians some critical recommendations.
I'm just grateful that I don't have time, I don't have chance to do the WAEC. I only get that it's a professor.
The inaugural lecture, which was the third from the Union Learning Department of Agricultural Extension and Rural Development, was well attended by eminent personalities from across Nigeria and outside the country.
Stakeholders in emergency response and management in Kogi State have resolved to broaden collaboration, leveraging the State Emergency Operation Command Center for effective emergency response to mitigate the impacts of the predicted flood in Kogi State. Solomon Ayedehi reports that this was at a meeting held at the command center in Lokoja.
Anxiety is still in the air, particularly around riverine communities in Kogi State, as the water levels on both rivers Niger and Benue continue to rise amidst fears of possible flooding.
We're already in the flood. It's only the level that matters.
It is in line with its commitment to enhance quick emergency response ahead of the looming dangers of the predicted flood that Emergency Preparedness and Response Team, comprising critical stakeholders in emergency management, are meeting again in Lokoja to review its strategies towards ensuring effective service delivery, collecting data and processing, rescue operations and impact mitigation techniques, as well as equipping all the 42 IDP camps mapped out across the 9 flood-prone local government areas in the state. The meeting, coordinated by the head of Abuja operations of the National Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Zakari, highlights the readiness of team members to take the task ahead.
By next week, according to the directives of the governor, we'll start moving our people from low grounds to upper grounds.
We're also trying as much as possible to see how we can activate all necessary structures to see that we can also support a very fast recovery process.
We have staff to be deployed to capture data, supporting the state government and other agencies.
We have provided life jackets to riverine areas, to maritime workers. We have also provided life jacket to the Ministry of Transport. We have also provided fiber boats, high-speed boats, 4 of them, to Kogi State government.
The inauguration of emergency operation and response teams at the local government level have started, while the clearing and fumigation of IDP camps is to commence in earnest. Evacuation subcommittees has also been put in place, preparatory to any flood eventualities. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
It attracted wide condemnations when the news broke about the defilement of a 3-month-old baby in Adoki community in Lafia. Many among who stood for justice for the victims was the wife of the Nasarawa State Governor, Silifat Abdullahi Sili. Abiga Bashi, who followed the case, has an update.
It was a touching story when the news broke about the defilement of a 3-month-old baby by one Amadou Yaro of Adogi community in Lafia, Nasarawa State, about 5 years ago. The development drew condemnations across the state, including the wife of the Nasarawa State Governor, Silifat Abdullahi Sule, who also visited the family. 5 years after, justice has been served, with the culprit found guilty and sentenced to 21 years, with many applauding the verdict.
We are hoping that what has happened will be a deterrent, particularly for all those who feel that they can commit such kind of offenses and go scot-free.
The act, which was highly condemned, brought different women groups led by the wife of Nasarawa State Governor Silifat Abdullahi Sule to say no to sexual and gender-based violence and demand for justice for the victim.
You know, some people, they are scared of stigma. That's why they don't want to say it out.
Meanwhile, back in Adogi town, the then 3-month-old baby is now a primary 1 pupil, and her mother appreciates the support given her daughter for her to have a better life.
Makamancin haka killa ba zai sake faruwa ba. Muna fatan haka kuma Allah ya saka da alheri.
In the meantime, for the little Rukaya Aliu, after the ordeal at such a tender age, it is a whole world ahead of her. In Lafia, Abigail Bashi, NTA News.
And that concludes the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Vivian Izadifi. Bye for now.